Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of two of my favorite towns in Spain. The first is Setenil de las Bodegas and the next one is Ronda. Ronda is absolutely jaw-droppingly stunning and Setenil is so unique. You'll see in the video, they're so cool. And I tried a different format today, so please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm doing it like a podcast with my videos. So let me know what you think. And I hope you really enjoyed the tour. But I also want to say, I'll put in the comments that the tour group that I went on, it was a day tour, but I would highly recommend spending a couple days in Ronda, Spain. But the tour group will be linked because I really, really liked it because it was a small, intimate tour. And there was only myself and 3 other people and the guide. And the guide was amazing. So I want to hook you up with that. I don't get any kickback for that or anything. It's just I really enjoyed the tour. And what else did I want to say? So just let me know what you think and enjoy.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're heading over to the Andalusia region of Spain.
Wonderful.
To explore 2 towns that really seem to blend right into the landscape.
Yeah.
Setenil de las Bodegas and Ronda.
Beautiful spots.
They're really something to see.
Absolutely.
One is built right into a massive rock overhang, and the other sits on the edge of a gorge.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Very dramatic landscapes.
It's really like nature and history had this creative collaboration.
Yeah, they did. That's a great way to put it.
So first up, Setenil de las Bodegas.
Okay.
I've seen pictures, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they bit these homes into a rock face.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So imagine walking down a street and the walls and ceilings are literally a natural rock overhang.
Wow.
And the history here goes way back 25,000 years ago to prehistoric settlements.
Really?
Yeah, and during the Roman era, while nearby a Sinipo flourished, Setenil seems to have been more of a quiet rural neighbor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's that name Setenil.
Yeah.
I heard it has a pretty dramatic origin story, something about 7 times nothing.
You heard right. So Setenil comes from the Latin septem nihil, meaning 7 times nothing.
Okay.
And it refers to 7 failed attempts by Christian armies to take the town from the Moors.
Wow.
Setenil, nestled within those rock formations, was a natural fortress.
7 sieges. I wonder how the people inside felt during those attacks.
Oh, I know.
It must have been terrifying, but also maybe a little reassuring,
Right.
knowing how well protected they were.
Absolutely. That natural defense really shaped their history.
Yeah.
And even after the Christian reconquest in 1484,
Oh.
the town's name gained de las Bodegas, meaning of the wineries.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this signals the arrival of Christian settlers who brought with them vineyard cultivation and wine production.
So the name itself tells a story from Moorish stronghold to a town known for its wine.
Exactly.
And even today, it's those cave dwellings that draw in tourists.
Yeah, I mean, it's really captured people's imaginations,
Yeah.
the idea of living in these unique, almost cave-like homes.
Right. It really speaks to this time when people lived in close harmony with the natural world.
Okay, so from the cozy caves of Setenil, let's move on to Ronda.
All right.
Now, this town is all about drama.
It is.
Perched high above that deep gorge El Tajo.
Yes.
Talk about a view.
Oh, amazing views.
And Ronda's history is equally impressive, stretching back to the Neolithic period.
Yeah, it goes way back.
Under Celtic rule, it was known as Ronda,
Uh-huh.
and during Roman times, a Sinipo, with its well-preserved Roman theater, is actually the main settlement.
The prominent settlement.
So for a while, Ronda was playing second fiddle to a Sinipo,
Right.
but then the Roman Empire falls and things change.
Things change, yeah. As the Sinipo declined, Ronda rose to prominence.
And under Moorish rule, from 711 to 1485 AD, it really flourished.
Absolutely.
It became this hub of culture and military power,
Yeah.
with structures like the Puente Viejo, the old bridge, and
Yes.
the Baños Árabes, the traditional Arab baths.
I can only imagine how those baths must have been like a center of social life back then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like a modern-day spa.
Right.
But with incredible Moorish architecture. And, those bathhouses really served vital social and communal functions in Moorish society.
Right.
But let's get back to Ronda's strategic location on El Tajo.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been so difficult to attack.
Almost like a natural fortress.
Yeah,
But of course, even the strongest fortresses sometimes fall.
right.
So what happened when the Reconquista reached Ronda?
Well, in 1485, Ronda was conquered by the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella.
Okay.
And this was a real turning point.
Right.
Because it led to the expulsion of many Muslim residents and the repopulation of Ronda by Christians.
Another major shift in the town's identity.
Yeah, big changes.
And I'm guessing this is where we start to see the Ronda that we know today, with that iconic Puente Nuevo, the new bridge.
You're listening. The Puente Nuevo, built in the 18th century.
Wow.
It's become an enduring symbol of Ronda. Its grandeur and engineering really capture the town's spirit.
I love that.
And interestingly, Ronda's beauty and dramatic landscape and its atmosphere really captured the imaginations of 19th century romantic travelers.
Really?
Yeah, writers like Washington Irving and Ernest Hemingway were drawn to its charm.
Wow. Ronda, the celebrity destination.
That's right.
Even back then, people were drawn to its beauty and unique atmosphere.
Absolutely. And today it's still a huge tourist destination.
Yeah.
Famous for its views, the Gorge, and of course its bullfighting tradition.
Yeah, the Plaza de Toros.
Yes, Ronda's bullring.
Opened in 1785.
One of the oldest in Spain.
It's fascinating how both Setenil and Ronda have these layers upon layers of history woven into their very existence.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? And even though they have these distinct visual identities,
Right.
they share this common thread of Moorish occupation and the Christian Reconquista.
Right.
You know, these events were really pivotal in shaping the Andalusia we know today.
They really were. But while they share that historical backdrop, they each have their own unique personality.
They do.
Setenil with its intimate cave dwellings nestled into the rock,
Uh-huh.
and Ronda perched dramatically above that gorge, almost reaching for the sky.
Yeah. Makes you think, how did the lives of the people in these towns differ throughout history because of these unique environments?
That's what I'm wondering, like, life in Setenil, almost hidden within that rock,
Yeah.
must have been so different from life in Ronda,
Absolutely.
exposed up on that plateau.
And that's what we'll explore next. How did the geography of these towns impact their social structures, their economies, and their everyday lives?
I can't wait to dive in.
Let's do it.
It's like in Setenil, the town grew organically from the rock itself.
Yeah,
While in Ronda, they built these impressive structures to, like, command the landscape.
that's a great observation. The architecture definitely reflects their unique relationships with the environment.
Yeah.
And speaking of relationships, I'm curious how those differences in geography impacted the people themselves. Did the residents of Setenil, living so closely intertwined with nature, develop a different perspective compared to the people of Ronda,
Yeah.
perched high above the world?
Makes you think, right? Did the people of Setenil feel a deeper sense of connection to the earth?
I think so.
Almost like the rock was a part of their identity.
It's fascinating to consider.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, did the people of Ronda develop a sense of resilience and self-reliance? You know, given the town's isolation and strategic importance.
Yeah, I wonder if those geographical differences impacted things like social structures and community life.
Oh, absolutely.
Did they have different ways of governing themselves? Different traditions? Maybe even different dialects?
Very likely in Setenil, perhaps there was a greater emphasis on communal living and cooperation,
Yeah.
given their close quarters and reliance on shared resources.
Makes sense.
Whereas in Ronda, maybe their sense of independence fostered a more individualistic spirit.
It's like two different social experiments playing out in these towns,
It is.
shaped by the landscape.
Yeah.
And what about their economies? Did their unique locations lead to different ways of making a living?
Absolutely, in Setenil, with its cave dwellings in close proximity to fertile land.
Right.
Perhaps agriculture and viticulture played a central role.
Yeah.
I mean, the name de las Bodegas hints at the importance of wine production.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And those caves weren't just homes, right?
Right.
They also provided this natural storage for food and wine,
Exactly.
keeping things cool and protected. Talk about sustainable living.
Precisely, they were masters of adaptation, using what nature provided to their advantage.
Yeah.
Now, Ronda, on the other hand, might have developed a more diverse economy.
Okay.
Given its strategic location as a crossroads.
Interesting.
They might have been involved in trade crafts, even military activities,
Right.
benefiting from their position as a defensive stronghold.
So Setenil, more grounded, connected to the land, maybe even a bit more inward looking.
Uh-huh.
And Ronda, more outward facing, ambitious, maybe even a touch more competitive,
Could be.
given its history as this military hub.
It's fascinating to speculate, isn't it?
It really is.
And these are just a few glimpses into how their unique geographies could have shaped their social and economic landscapes.
It really makes you realize how deeply intertwined human history is with the natural world.
Absolutely. These towns serve as powerful reminders that our stories, our cultures, even our personalities
Yeah.
are shaped by the environments we live in.
And it makes me wonder about those who came before us. What was it like to live in Setenil?
I
To
know.
raise a family within those sheltering rocks?
Yeah, or to stand on the edge of El Tajo in Ronda, gazing out at the world.
What stories did they tell? What songs did they sing? What dreams did they hold for the future?
Those are questions we can only imagine.
Yeah.
But, it's through exploration and discussion that we can try to piece together the puzzle of their lives.
And that's what's so captivating about history.
Right.
It's a journey of discovery,
Yes.
of piecing together those fragments of the past to create a richer understanding of the present. Speaking of discovery, as we delve deeper into the stories of Setenil and Ronda, are there any particular aspects that stand out to you? Any aha moments?
Let me think.
It's the contrasting personalities of these towns that keeps coming back to me.
Yeah.
Setenil, almost introspective, blending into the earth.
Right.
And Ronda, bold, dramatic, standing out against the sky. I wonder if those visual differences translated into different mindsets.
Yeah.
Or different ways of life.
It's fascinating to consider, isn't it? Perhaps the people of Setenil living in such close proximity developed a stronger sense of community, a shared identity rooted in their unique environment.
Like we are the people of the rock.
Exactly. And their lives likely revolved around the rhythms of nature, the seasons, the harvest,
Right.
the ebbing flow of life within those protective rock walls.
Whereas in Ronda, maybe life was a bit more adventurous.
Yeah, perched on the edge of that gorge.
Okay.
There's this sense of looking outward, embracing the wider world.
Right, and their history as a strategic stronghold probably instilled a sense of pride.
Oh, yeah.
And resilience.
Absolutely. They were the guardians, the protectors, standing watch over the surrounding lands.
It's almost like two different approaches to being Andalusian.
And yet they're both indelibly shaped by the same historical forces.
Right.
Those waves of conquest and reconquest that swept across the region.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in our differences, we share a common heritage.
And that heritage is so rich, so layered.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about how these towns might be perceived hundreds of years from now.
Oh, wow.
Imagine archaeologists uncovering these sites.
Yeah.
What stories would they tell?
I think they would marvel at the ingenuity and adaptability of the people who lived there.
Yeah.
They would see Setenil as a testament to living in harmony with nature, creating a sustainable way of life within the embrace of the earth.
And Ronda.
Ronda would tell a tale of ambition, of human striving, of reaching for new heights, both literally and figuratively.
Two sides of the same coin, reflecting the multifaceted nature of human existence. It's incredible how much we can learn from these towns, even though they're separated by just a few miles.
I know, and for those listening, I hope this deep dive has inspired you to learn more about Setenil and Ronda.
Maybe even add them to your travel bucket list.
Absolutely.
Because as we've discovered, these towns aren't just about pretty pictures.
Right.
They're about stories.
Yeah.
Stories of resilience, adaptation, and the enduring relationship between humanity and the natural world.
Stories that continue to unfold, waiting to be discovered.
Well, thank you for joining us on this journey to the heart of Andalusia.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
All right, and this is my meal, the chicken cannelloni. Oh my God, it smells incredible. This is a must-visit restaurant. That was so incredibly delicious. And the sauce was just, primo. And it's really rich, but it's the right amount of food for me. And I can't eat a lot. Usually I get too much to eat. But I ate the whole thing, and I'm going to get dessert. Okay, this is the flan with caramel. Cool, really cool atmosphere in here. I like the lights.